Hey, Kate.
Hi.
So I was thinking, Survivor Series is this weekend, and I was wondering if you could give me your very best war games.
No, I hate this. If I was a wrestler, I would hate this. Oh,
It's become like an official part of it. It's like it can't happen. It's like Beetlejuice.
oh God, what a
It
cringe
won't
moment.
occur until you actually declare it.
The only time it's like not bad is when Rhea Ripley does it, and it's just because everything she does is great.
If I do it, will you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So my only thing is that if I could do it any other way and I had full creative license, I would want to do it with the Bane voice.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, War Games! War Games, Batman.
Or Paul Heyman.
War Games! Survivor Series!
Oh my God.
It's pretty good. I'm working on it. Week by week, it's coming together. So I gave you two, so you give me your best War Games.
The only voice that comes to mind is Miffy. Whoa, guys.
War Games, in it. I mean, you have an issue, so we gotta settle bloody War Games.
No, it's gotta be like slow for babies, like War Games.
That's pretty good.
That's the only way I can say it.
That's pretty good.
Because it makes our son laugh so hard.
I like that. I think you would laugh at that.
Yeah.
All right,
War
well,
Games.
we've declared it, so it shall be. War Games, Survivor Series, hit the music. Welcome to the Shootnami. I'm your host, John Porter.
I'm Terry Bollea.
I'm joined by Terry Bollea, dude.
Dude. Just kidding.
I'm back from the grave.
It's Caitlin. It's not Terry Bollea.
Yeah, well, I mean, somewhere down in there. So we have War Games, we have Survivor Series on the docket this weekend. This will be the third PLE on ESPN. I'm sure they're just white knuckling it there in ESPN's front office, just being like, "Oh my God, what have we done?
This was a mistake.
How much money did we give them?"
I know.
With that in mind, and the fact they have only 4 matches scheduled, I'm imagining that these two War Games matches are going to be like bonanzas.
Yeah, like, how long do you think they're gonna be?
I would say like it's probably safe for at least like 50 minutes minimum for
Wow.
both of them. Well, because the thing is, and we can talk about this to start. Like this is kind of blends into one of the things that we were going to discuss briefly. But the way that the match is structured, it doesn't technically begin until everybody enters the ring, and maybe that's a good place to start because we went through some previous iterations of Survivor Series matches. I think we both agreed that in general the match needs some like flipping,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're gonna make it this yearly staple. And I mentioned last week that it's the second longest running major show in the WWE. So, but it doesn't really have a lot of the pomp and circumstance of the Royal Rumble or maybe even SummerSlam, and why that is. Do you have any thoughts on just maybe what you would change, or if you even like the match in general? Are you excited for this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think anytime you have kind of like the top men and women, it's gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially if each match is gonna go on for I hope not an hour, but
A bit.
a bit. Yeah. We went back and looked at a lot of different formats, and I think my favorite was the brand divisions. So like when SmackDown and Raw and NXT
Mhm.
had their teams. I think the only downside of that format is like just a lot of people standing ringside.
So much standing around.
And that that doesn't normally get me. Like, I'm always the first one to complain, like there's too many people in the ring, or there's too many people standing around, or it looks curated, or it's complete chaos. Like, one or the other, it can't be both. So like this 2000, was it 2009?
2019.
Sorry, 2019. When they did this, and like it was such a trip to like watch like all of these wrestlers who we love, from even like Tony Storm in AEW, or seeing like how long Asuka and Kyrie have been like doing their thing, and Rhea Ripley, like as a young baby, looks totally different, winning ultimately that match. Like, I would say that would be like my favorite way to do it, but I think isolating it down to like these top people is gonna be more impactful, and ultimately have like more like stronger consequences, because when you cross companies, then that gets kind of messy from like a booking side too. I just thought it was the most entertaining, but I also could see like from like management's perspective how like crazy it would be to manage that.
I don't know if it's something that you can necessarily copy and paste, because there were two things that were working for it in particular at the time. And one was the resurgence of NXT, to the point where that had become the product to watch if you were going to watch one WWE program every week.
Yeah.
And just the sheer amount of talent.
Yeah.
On the NXT side, there was a real tension of the main roster really being dwarfed by these up and comers. And I don't necessarily know if you could like replicate that currently with NXT.
No, you would. I mean,
Maybe on the men's side, because you have Obafemi,
Trick.
you'd have Javon, maybe you have Joe Hendry.
It's true.
Ethan Page, I would put in there.
Yeah. No, I mean, that five, I would honestly be like a great group.
So maybe you could do it on the men's side. I don't know if you could do it on the women's side.
It would be Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka, just cloned 5 times. The Rukas.
Yeah, it would be the Rukas.
I would love that, actually.
No, but I agree with you, because it's like I think that's another reason why I love wrestling, because it's almost like this format changes. It's almost like it's a blank slate for however you need to play it in order to get the right people in front of the audience. And like, it was clear that they didn't, like, they needed to have a strategy to get NXT. And funny that we should mention NXT, because lovely seeing Lash Legend paired with Nia Jax. Like, I think that's like, Nia Jax is, I'm a big Nia Jax fan, even though like she had like a notoriously bad botch in the last couple months.
I mean, the whole career has been a series of like
botch, yeah. But I'm a huge Nia Jax fan, because I think she's so funny.
Me too.
And
no one has fielded that adversity like she has.
No.
That's what ultimately made me come around on her, was that she just kept grinding.
And you know what? People will shit all over her, but like she just continues to be like the biggest, scariest, best heel that they have, in my opinion, that they have.
The fact that she could come back from my hole.
Oh, with flying colors. No pun intended.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, she's just funny, and she's just oozing with confidence. And like, I know that like, some of her downsides are real downsides. Like, she needs to protect people better and stuff. But like, to see Lash Legend to be side by side with Nia Jax, it really like shows you like how powerful Lash Legend looks.
Yeah.
And how she should have been there so much longer. Like she should have been elevated so long ago.
It makes you wonder what took so long, and I'm guessing they maybe had her penciled in with Nia, and they were just waiting for Nia to get freed up from that Tiffany Stratton feud, and maybe they wanted, maybe this was all according to plan. But yeah, like they took Lash off of NXT for a while, and then they kind of floated her being on a main show every now and again, and she was with Jakara Jackson, I think. Someone who's not actually she's in TNA now, is under a different name.
Yeah.
So they were doing a few trial balloons with her, and then there was radio silence. And I always thought, like, I don't know why, because she looks great on television. If you're going to, put the rocket on Jade Cargill, like, I don't know why you would not do something similar with Lash Legend, because you're kind of doing it for similar reasons.
Can you imagine?
You're gonna get it one day, because
Can you imagine?
maybe sooner than you think, because I think Jade and Nia have already
had
yeah.
No, to have a Jade Cargill Lash Legend match is like it's a total GM mode match for me. Like that's like a fantasy booking.
Yeah. I don't think you'll have to wait long for that one, but I think that's the great part about this particular iteration of the Survivor Series, is that you have a really great mix of legacy and up and coming talent, which I think is the right mix.
But even getting Lash Legend into the group was like clunky, which is why it's like that's why I understand why they did the brand format, because it's like, how else do you get, like there was no promos where Nia Jax needed a partner, or like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, she's with Lyle. Hey, that's a great match. Like they're
both big ladies.
Not complaining,
Right.
but like there was absolutely no storyline given to them coming together, which is kind of a bummer. So like,
I think when the group looks good together, I'm willing, and
willing to
when it elevates two people, or at least one person that you've always wanted to see get the push, then I don't really mind.
Yeah, totally. But I will say, Nia Jax has been kind of like, I'm always looking at people's outfits, and Nia Jax she's got to like step it up with the ring attire.
Well, I mean, especially when you're sharing the ring with Charlotte Flair
and Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley.
The drip is crazy.
Girl, you gotta stop showing up in Fashion Nova and start getting some. And she usually does a really good job. She does a great job styling her body, but like the last couple times she's been on TV, she's had like a sweater and khakis or jeans or something, and it's like very weird. But it's nice to see that they're actually pulling people up instead of like the men's division pulling some old washed up talent that doesn't have any business being there.
Yeah, that's right. So that's another great transition.
Do we wait? Do we make the finale?
No, I think it should be.
We need to talk about it.
We should hit this next, because last week we talked about what we were thankful for, and I think we did it a week early.
Yeah,
because
this would have been
Shootnami is the show that got an early Christmas present yesterday.
We did. We really did.
With a generational botch that is already just the meme template of the year and perhaps of 2026, and that's Brock Lesnar, no hands, eating shit on the ramp during his entrance at the closing of Raw.
Dude.
And I can't think of anything that we talked about last week in our thankful segment that I would take over that botch.
That I'm more thankful for.
Yeah.
No, it was like when people who deserve something get what's coming to them. It's like, it just feels so good. And it's not even the first time. Like, we had that epic botch where he ripped the back of his pants. And mind you, he's had probably like a total of like maybe 15 minutes in the ring total since he's come back. I feel like Brock Lesnar, if you put all the minutes that he's been on TV at WWE since his return, he has spent half of it, if not more, embarrassing himself.
If you combine the pants ripping botch with the falling backwards botch
and moving and trying to do a backwards somersault to try and save it,
and the recovery roll,
like,
if you combine all of those botches, how many wrestlers do you think would have remained on television as opposed to like buried and taken off for like several weeks? Because I think that's a very short list. I think that's a go home level
Well,
botch.
it is. And like for anybody, like can you imagine if anyone on NXT had that happen? Like
No, you're done.
you're
Like
done.
you're going like we don't know what to do with you now. You have to completely develop a new character.
You're Marina Shafir is what you are.
You have to go home for a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
You have to be the silent bystander if you're even allowed on TV again.
Right. Like could you imagine if like Aleister Black did those two things?
No, you would never
Or
see him again.
or Andrade
No, it
or
would be.
Rusev.
Yeah, so like I think that's
They
kind
would
of
take him out of the John Cena semifinals.
that's one of the things. Like I said, I love wrestling for so many reasons, but I hate wrestling for this one reason, which is like people are so like aghast with the spectacle of Brock Lesnar because he is like so clearly physically bigger than everyone else that like just the sheer sight of the man next to everyone else is like worth to people, not me, but like worth the bullshit.
If this continues, because like you said, it's a trend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy is hemorrhaging aura currently.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. He's lost
Right.
all of his aura
He's
points.
right now he's going to the Central Aura Bank and he's looking for bailout money
Well,
because
and what's crazy about it is there was a promo with the heel team, and you actually made a comment on how good it was, at least from like the side of like wrestling promos and like the level of acting that you get. But like I think it was like the heel team, so it was like
Logan, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and Bosch Lesnar.
Botch Lesnar. So it was Paul Heyman talking.
Heyman.
Yeah, he was talking to Logan Paul about like who who is going to be like partnered with Brock Lesnar or something. I can't remember exactly, but like
I know the segment you're talking about. Yeah, it was
Logan
good,
Paul,
very good.
Logan Paul had some like A+ acting skills of like, and they were talking Brock Lesnar up like, oh, he's mad. You don't
Right.
want to go anywhere near Brock right now because he's like the
That's
big.
what made that botch so
Right.
crazy, is it?
Dude, that's what I mean. It's like you had this whole promo where it was like, don't go near him because he's a big, scary, mad monster, and he's gonna stomp everything in his way. And it was like the moment he came out and just did a backwards somersault on accident because he fell. He looked like a little baby.
And they did that thing where like they put the executive producer credits up to make you feel like the end of the show is here and they're going to cut to black. They do that thing when it's like they know that they have something big and like, oh, the crowd's going to go crazy for this.
Yeah.
So you're right. Not only do you start the show
Talking him up.
by talking about this huge world-beating monster, but then like if there was ever a night to not have that happen,
Yeah.
it was that night.
It was last.
But hey, you know what? It's like we've said. He shouldn't be here, and we all know why. There's a ghost somewhere in the machine that's creating these botches for him, and I hope Janelle Grant is somewhere, and then she got to at least see that clip, and maybe a little smirk came across her face, and I hope that alone would make all of this worthy.
Not nothing, right. Not the best, but
maybe that's the compromise: is that he will be continued to be booked, but he'll continue to have these like karmic botches.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Survivor Series, maybe we just go through a quick rundown of the card, quick preview. I mean, we've already done most of it because there's only 4 matches.
Yeah.
We have the women's War Games match at the very top of the show. The men have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns versus the Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Bosh Lesnar with Paul Heyman. So that's your bookends, and then we have 2 matches in the middle. We'll have Stephanie Vaquer taking on Nikki Bella for the Women's World Championship. I think they did a good job turning Nikki. I think she sold it well in that segment. I still hope that this is a one-off because I think there are more interesting feuds for Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't want to, because I know last week I basically shot on everybody, and
We'll get to that at the end.
I don't know how Nikki escaped that.
Yeah.
But Nikki Bella is.
We're going to be nice this week, though. We decided that.
Yeah, we did. We are. Yeah.
All right, so stay for another week, Nikki.
I'm gonna say something nice about Nikki Bella. Great on the Traders. Loved you on the Traders.
Well, isn't that just because the Traders is a great show?
No, I think
She in particular.
I love that there was a WWE personality on the Traders.
Yeah.
I appreciated that they were included.
Yeah, there should be that should be standard
Yeah.
for every season.
And I love going back to Total Divas because, that's a golden era. But Nikki Bella is super annoying to me now. And I just think that this feud was really thrown together. And I don't like to see two people just kind of gravitate to each other and then immediately turn, like, it just, like, it feels like being played at a circus, kind of like, oh, they're good friends, and it's been like maybe three weeks or something where they've shown up together, and then there's a turn. It's like it impact just isn't as strong because there isn't a long standing.
It was the betrayal arc, like sped up to like 5x.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm not feeling it, and I'm not feeling like I don't believe it. I don't see any connection with the two of them at all. Like Nikki Bella, I would feel more excited about like an AJ Lee and Nikki Bella feud, like someone to like pull her up versus somebody new who's doing really well. I would want to see like AJ Lee shed a little of her like excitement onto Nikki Bella and have those two go at it and like bring people into why Total Divas era was loved, like
Right.
I would love to see that. And instead of kind of leeching off of this young talent who honestly deserves to be with like Asuka and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, it's like, what do you like? Don't put her with Nikki Bella. She's wasting her time and wasting her talent, you know. But I did. That's not to say that I don't. I think that Nikki Bella is like not like I think she'd be great just with other people,
Yeah, the only thing I can attribute this to is that backstage, these two probably have a lot of chemistry and they genuinely want to work together, which is the reason why I'm not being particularly harsh on this booking. Um, Stephanie's a workhorse, so it's going to be interesting to see how Nikki Bella fares. I think they did as much as they could with this, considering it's a very unexpected and not really requested tandem. So we'll see what they have in the second match. In the third, we have the penultimate appearance of Jonathan Radcliffe Cena, and he is now the Intercontinental Champion, so that he could have that Grand Slam champion title. But we are in Dominic Mysterio's hometown of San Diego, and the belt will be on the line again in the rematch. And to me, it seems like the logical thing would be for John to drop the belts.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Well, no, the John Cena tournament will not have a winner by the time that this takes place on Saturday. So you can't do something where Gunther wins, costs him the belt, and then you have that instant heat for Saturday night's main event. So
Yeah.
I think Cena obviously should drop it because this is his second to last match. You're just like, I don't know. I just want this to be over.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Like, I don't give a shit.
I hate this.
Okay.
I'm so sick of this.
All right. Well, I'm glad that I can provide some analysis on this. Kate's feelings are clear.
This is all you. I don't care.
A long silence.
Like I think part of the disillusion is like not only am I so tired of this and it should have been over so long ago, but like they hit us with that mini John Cena.
Oh God.
Yesterday, and I felt.
Do you think that's why because during that Raw in Oklahoma City, we were just like, my God, they have stacked the show with all of their A talent. Do you think it was because they knew they were going to do the mini John Cena thing and like completely alienate everybody?
I truly don't have any idea.
That's a segment they would have been nervous to pull the trigger on like 20 years ago.
I'm still feeling like so grossed out by it because like these are the moments that when I tell somebody who doesn't know me very well, that I'm a wrestling fan, this is what I fear that like the things that they have in their head about like
Right.
what wrestling is.
Right.
And they're not wrong. They're not wrong
That's
because it is what is the year of 2025 and we now had a sea of people who were in this arena yesterday who heard John Cena's music,
Mhm.
who were all wearing John Cena shirts and merchandise. And yeah, they got to see Punk, they got to see Cody, they got to see Roman Reigns, like bicker, like little babies in the beginning. But like, nothing is like being able to see one of the greatest wrestlers of all time during his retirement tour for the last time and then getting met with a gimmick where there's like a I don't know, I don't even want to say like I don't
Well,
know.
just two people, two little people that have, one is dressed as John Cena, the other one is dressed.
It's like,
They had a second one dressed as the cameraman, so it was like a smaller version of the cameraman, which I thought was the whole thing was
horrible.
odd. Yeah. So,
Horrible. And like,
excuse us if we're not using the incorrect terminology, but I mean, the takeaway here is that we both were just incredibly confused, not only from just like an antiquated humor perspective, but also in terms of just really burning the town in an unnecessary way. Because right before the mini quote unquote John Cena comes out, Dominic Mysterio says something along the lines of like, did you really think that John Cena would come to a dump like this?
and like,
And obviously, that's when you hit the music and John Cena shows up unexpected, right?
yeah.
Because that's going to make a huge pop, but then he doesn't. So not only do you get this like very bizarre, like outdated segment straight out of like the Vince McMahon era, but you get like a silent confirmation of like, yeah, I'm not going to come to your
Dump
dump
town.
town. Exactly.
And the guy that I'm fighting is right about you people.
Right.
And like,
Right.
and it was so sad. And like, it really like
And the crowd was not
no.
in, like, they were just like, what is this?
No, and the thing that made me even more sad is like there were people in the audience that I clocked that were like a dad and a daughter or like a dad and a son or like a kid who was there to like you know what I mean with like John Cena merch or like whatever. And it's like you get this like absolutely horrendous like and again, it's like who is back there going through the like the script or like the writing or like what the plan is for Raw and thinks that this is like funny or like going to go over well.
I'll
And
tell you who, Bruce Pritchard. That's my guess.
well, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's my guess.
Like there's the old school shit
Michael Haynes.
that they can't let go of, and like this is what happens. And it's just I get that sometimes they're gonna fail at knowing what the right thing to do is, but this was so glaringly like such an insult and so
Right,
not.
because I told you this when we were watching. I was like, John Cena's not there, but they certainly priced those tickets like he was.
Yeah.
You can guarantee that.
Well, they got to see Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Roman Reigns fight each other at the beginning, or bicker at the beginning, not even
What a
fight each other.
ridiculous segment this was. In fact, I mean, there's really nothing to be said about it. It's just
No, I'm embarrassed.
for a company that seems to have evolved in its booking strategy. It's a low bar from like late stage McMahon era, but like this was so every now and again they'll harken back to like the Attitude Era in a way that is just not palatable, and this was absolutely one of those.
Oh,
So,
and then you got that with Brock Lesnar falling on his ass. And like, this is where I was just like, yeah, like these are the moments as a wrestling fan that I'm just like, is it going? Like, because I'm entertained by a lot of stuff that they're doing right now. I love a lot of like the female wrestlers, and I'm really entertained by wrestling, even though people are saying it's in a slump. It's moments like this that are like, okay, I understand why people are saying it's in a slump.
and if it's in a slump, yeah, exactly. It's because any momentum, it's one step forward, and then this type of stuff puts it two steps back.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm just, if I were to do any like like remedial booking of it, like the one thing I was surprised is like, well, you would obviously let the John Cena impersonator get some shit in, or maybe like make a comeback or like do something, but like
No.
Dom just beats his ass and leaves the ring, and then they just proceed with JD coming out for the Rey Mysterio match, and I was just like, this was not
Crazy.
productive for anybody. In fact, I think that with the exception of Dom, who was tickled by it because we thought that someone told him that Cena was going to come out.
Oh, it absolutely looked like he didn't know that this was happening.
Right.
Like he was like you could tell he was kind of breaking or like
Right.
and because he just was so like I feel like he was genuinely shocked.
But when Ray came out, you could just see like a sullen father being like, "Oh my
It's
god,
so horrible.
this is the type of shit I had to do for Vince." And
Yeah.
like he got his time in the barrel tonight.
Yeah. So this is this is why like like if you're a wrestling fan, you get it and you get that these types of things happen and go back and forth. But like if you're not a wrestling fan, this is why you're not.
Right. And if you're a wrestling fan, especially when you've been able to see multiple eras, you know that this is a really an anomaly. This is a blip occurrence.
Yeah.
And it's something that for the most part both companies have gotten away from.
Yeah.
And let's hope it stays that way. Let's not step on any rakes that we don't need to. So
Yeah.
anyway, that said, I think we've talked more about this segment than any expectation we have for this match. I think Dominic will get the belt back in some fashion. And yeah, we're almost home on the Cena tour, and then it's off to Washington D.C. And then
Wait, we should talk about Gunther. Should we talk about Gunther?
well, I mean, it's a natural transition because he's probably going to be. I would say that looking at the bracket for the last time is now.
It's gonna be him.
So currently we have in the semifinal we have Solo Sikoa and Gunther. I imagine Gunther is certainly going to win that. The second I heard the old theme, the Vulture theme, I just knew that there's no way this guy is going to not win this tournament like that. I would imagine of the remaining field, which is Jey Uso, Rusev, a mystery opponent taking over for Sheamus, who won his first round match but also had a shoulder injury and is not medically cleared. Whoever that mystery opponent is, it could be someone who was previously eliminated, or maybe they have like someone from TNA or some other, promotion that they work with, AAA or something like that. Maybe it's Mr. Iguana, could
I don't know about that.
LA Knight is taking that person on, and I imagine that it will be Jey Uso and LA Knight in the semifinal.
They would do that.
Yeah,
Dude, they would do that to LA Knight. They would put him with Mr. Iguana.
They would.
They want him to.
They'd put Iguana over too
They want LA Knight to pay for something for some reason.
for being popular.
Yeah, I guess.
Uso and LA Knight, and my money's on LA Knight and Gunther, with Gunther proceeding. So,
Dude, I don't think so. I love how you just think LA Knight is gonna do stuff and it just never happens. Rusev and Gunther is what's gonna happen because
there's
that is
no way.
why.
Because you're telling me that in a field that includes Jey Uso, Rusev, and LA Knight, that Rusev is the one?
Wouldn't you most prefer to see him with Gunther though?
Not when the winner is John Cena's last opponent. Because here's the thing: it's
No,
like
Gunther's gonna win, no doubt. But
okay,
like,
but wouldn't you rather have someone who conceivably would be elevated to that spot, like with LA Knight or with Jey Uso, rather same thing. It's like you could conceivably being like, you know what, we want the rub to go to this guy. With Rusev, I just think that would like. There's no way they're having that be his final opponent. So why book him as if he has a shot?
because people would love to see him with Gunther.
Would they?
I feel like they would.
Are people into Rusev?
I think people are into Rusev. I think people are.
People were into Rusev like in the mid aughts.
I feel like he's done nothing but get elevated. Like he's gone against all of like the like mid card dudes by now. He was against Dominic Mysterio, and Mysterio has a match directly with John Cena.
Man, if Rusev is on the other side of this bracket,
I think it's Rusev.
I will.
That's
I
what.
will
That's what my
eat my
money.
shoe.
That's what my money is on because I think that would be the most compelling matchup for Gunther.
You know, at the end of last week's show, you torched me for proposing LA Knight ascending as the head of the Vision.
And I was right.
And you go, that is ridiculous. But also at the same time, Rusev is going to be one match away from John Cena's retirement match.
He's not going to win, but he will be the one that goes against Gunther.
Okay, let's mark it down. You've got Rusev, I've got LA Knight.
Because we've seen Jey Uso and
it's going to be Mr. Iguana, but
no, we've seen Jey Uso and Gunther. LA Knight, for some reason, they do not want to push. Rusev has only just gotten more and more big matches since he's joined.
Mhm.
And I think that people see him as kind of like other Gunther. You know what I mean? Like, I see him as like a also really big, scary dude that, like, again, going back to my Brock Lesnar point, people want to see the two big dudes. And so I think that it's going to be a shoe-in for Gunther, but I think Rusev is going to end up going against him for the final match, and then Gunther's going to win.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What you originally alluded to was that
we need to talk about Gunther.
We're going to talk about Gunther because he has his old theme back, which I think sounds better, makes him look more intimidating. He's got his look back, but the few times that he's come back since this revival, you and I have noted that the crowd reaction just doesn't seem to be there. And, in his defense, we also said on Raw that the Oklahoma City crowd was particularly demure, I guess you could say, like pretty quiet considering like the amount of people that had in the show. When they pulled the mini John Cena thing, like I totally don't blame them for just being like, fuck this, but beforehand you had a segment with basically the top guys in the company, and then just you did not get the reception that I feel like they were banking on.
Yeah.
And then Gunther was the next match. It was the first match after that. It was him and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Incredible match.
It was a great match. I mean, he had a great match with the last Raw. I forget. Javon Evans, yeah.
But yeah, when he's coming out, it doesn't quite seem to resonate. And we have our theories about them. I think that, and continue to think that the greatest sin they committed with him was him tapping out at WrestleMania. I think it still follows him. I think it's tinged people's perception of him compared to how they want to book him there. And I think they created an obstacle that they didn't need to have going into this kind of new stage of Gunther's career. So I think maybe they're aware of it. And maybe that's the reason why he's getting John Cena's final match. We'll see. Because when you look at him in the ring, the work is great. The matches are great. He is such a hard hitter. I mean, my God, he almost took Carmelo's head off on Monday, and which was already partially dislodged from Bronson Reed hitting him with like a hellacious lariat on Friday. He's just so physical, and I understand why he's continued to get chance after chance after chance, but it just makes you wonder if the crowd reception for him continues to be timid.
Yeah.
At what point did they decide, maybe he doesn't belong in this echelon, or are we just going to continue to put him there like they are doing with Brock Lesnar?
I think Gunther, another thing that like really helps him is his mic skills too, and I feel like I haven't seen him on the mic for
He's a good talker.
He's a really good talker. He eviscerates everyone.
He does.
That he comes.
No one does arrogance
right
like Gunther does.
Right. He just and it's like it's kind of like deadpan too. It's like very like it's like anything he says is like this is what everybody thinks. It's like you're bad and you're a loser, and it comes out of him so naturally. And
because he believes that.
No, totally. And like he's a true intimidating guy. Like we were watching the 2009 Survivor series. Dude was a brick shithouse back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
a big boy.
Big boy. And
it was cuffing season.
dude, I could build he was like a house. I don't even know how to describe his body. It was a flat square. It was crazy. And like I've never seen anyone like that. Like it was crazy. Like I would never want to get in the ring with a guy like that. Like he is really scary. And I don't know, doesn't look like that anymore, but still has the same like potential of aura, I should say. And I think the aura was taken away and he knows it. And that kind of like confidence bust is like you can read it on him, you know? You can kind of see it on him. And like, I feel like the more he gets through this tournament and maybe with John Cena, like it will be restored and he will have his like mojo back.
Yeah, they've just been floundering to figure out how to create depth with him for so long. Because I remember when he first took the title from Damian Priest at SummerSlam, I believe, 2 SummerSlams ago, they had this weird storyline where he was having a crisis of confidence.
That's right. Where he was like Wiener Gunther.
Right, he was Wiener Gunther for a little bit, and I think that was it's just they're running into the same issue that you run into with Superman, where it's
Yeah.
hard to make him compelling and well-rounded when
When
he
he
is
can,
just a machine, you
yeah, he
know?
can do everything. Yeah.
So the problem is that they didn't create that depth, and they also made him a wiener. So you're making him a wiener and also telling me that he is the most feared individual in the Federation, and it's just clashing. So I think what they're doing now is just a full reset of like, nope, this guy's a buzzsaw. He's gonna run through everybody. Hopefully, he's not gonna trip on the fucking ramp and completely undo everything we're trying to do for him. If I were in Gorilla, watching and hearing the reaction, knowing that this is the guy that's going to get Cena's last match,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'd be a little nervous because it's the floor's already fallen out once on this guy.
Yeah.
And now it hasn't fallen out, but the planks are like a little shaky.
The biggest mistake that they made is not having Ilya Dragunov
Yeah.
in this bracket because him and Gunther would be
Stuck on Friday nights.
that would just totally without anybody strong enough to go against him.
Yeah.
This would be this in my opinion would be the perfect place. But the problem would be that I don't know who would win if he went up against Gunther. But
They locked up a few times in NXT and NXT UK.
really?
So we should go back and watch those matches.
Let's watch them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's game tape on those two for
That's
sure.
awesome.
But,
I would love to see that.
I think that that's definitely where they're going to get to at one point.
It's just too bad that SmackDown is nobody's watching it.
I know, and it doesn't help that Punk is just like tacitly shitting on it on Mondays.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing is like the opening with the three of them. There was a lot of like shitting on each other's companies.
Yeah, Punk is low key belittling Cody a little bit every week.
Yeah, because Cody thinks he's king shit.
Yeah,
And he's on SmackDown.
remember when he left him hanging?
Oh, yeah, that was one of my notes. That was last week's Raw when they came. Didn't they come out together or?
They came out together, and then they were looking at the Vision and the team and the heel team in the ring, and they were looking at each other basically kind of like you ready to
Ready
go
for this?
ready to go 2-on-5. And then Punk was looking in the ring, and Cody went to go fist bump him, and Punk didn't see it. And so, and then he even kind of said like, "Hey," kind of like, "Hey, fist bump me, don't leave me hanging." And then Punk went to the ring, and so he had to recoup it in the only way he could, which was to like kind of fist bump his side.
Oh my god, like fist bump the arm, like the forearm.
Not even the arm or the forearm. He had to do like the side, like the oblique.
Fuck.
He had to get something because he was just going to get straight up.
I don't know if I would be more humiliated tripping and falling and doing a backward somersault or having somebody ignore my fist bump.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know which is more embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, it seemed the fist bump would be innocuous until a week later, then during their promo to open the show, Punk then goes, you can be the champ on Friday nights, but over here on Netflix, like I'm the top guy. I
Brutal.
think that might have been enough for me if I were Cody to have a conversation backstage. It's like, hey, did you mind not burying me?
No, because, and I've said it again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. That is what Punk does, and that's why nobody likes working with him. People brought him back, being like, "We're gonna make so much money. Yeah, we have mutual goals there."
Like, no, I'm gonna make money. I don't know about you other jabronis. I'm gonna bury all of you.
Dude, the way he buries Cody is so funny though, because it's like he just has it reminds me of this might be like my botchamania brain rot, but it's like the Simpsons episode where like Lisa tries to figure out like why this bully keeps going after all the nerds, and she finds out that it's like in the sweat. And it's like I feel like there's like a chemical like reaction where like Punk just feels the need to bully Cody because it's just like it's like in his sweat. It just they just do it. It's like the mark. It's like in that commercial where he goes,
I was gonna bring it up.
I'm not the mark. And he just like the camera goes to
when they're doing the WrestleMania vignettes where they're all at the card table and there's like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and everybody has like their vignette where they're doing a voiceover while they're playing blackjack, or sorry, while they're playing poker. During the CM Punk one, he says, "I don't play a character. I'm not the dealer. I'm not the mark." And then weirdly, when he says Mark, we cut to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And we just think it was a very flagrant intentional cut.
Totally. And that's like that was like
Bro made a wrestling company because he couldn't get booked in the one he wanted to be in. So I think that's pretty markish.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, I just think I think you're gonna get WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. So like they're probably just
God willing.
Setting it up now. It's like gonna be a slow burn, but that's what it's gonna be.
Hey, you know what? I called title versus title unification last week, so I'm feeling pretty good about that prediction right now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, speaking of companies that are full of marks, I want to actually go back because we had a big AEW show on Saturday. I believe 13 matches on this card.
So many.
The more that people criticize Tony Khan for chalking these shows full of matches and the runtime, I just think that he doubles down. I think that he is just like, oh, yeah, you don't like 12 matches? Well, how about 13 or 14 or 15? I don't think there's any limit to him. I just think that he really enjoys putting on super shows like this. Like, I think at some point we will get, and we've come close to a 7-hour AEW program.
Yeah.
I think it's coming. Probably, next year's All In would be my guess. But we'll just do a rundown of the Full Gear results, and just any takeaways we have. Anything jump out at you? I have a few things, but I just want to give you the floor in case there's anything that jumps out at you about what occurred on Saturday at Full Gear.
I think the two biggest things that I took away, FTR getting their titles back, was a big one for me because I'm a huge FTR fan. I'm not a huge fan of, as we know, the heel version of FTR, but
that surprises me. I feel like I really honestly felt like that segment they did with Ricky Steamboat was going to win you over.
Okay, so let me just say this. I just don't like, was the little guy named Stokely?
Stokely Hathaway.
I don't like Stokely. Like, I wish Stokely would just...
Neither did WWE.
I think Stokely should evaporate. Like, it's okay to pretend like he was never here. Like,
it's so strange because you bring a guy like that onto a team when you feel like the people, the actual talent can't get themselves over and speak on the mic, and that's not true.
No, I think they're doing a great job. I really truly think, I think it took them a minute, but I do think they're doing a great job at being heels, and I think they're having fun with it.
That's the important thing, and that's what I was going to say too. I think that's when it really starts to unlock, is when you can start having fun. Because I think in the beginning of the heel run, there seemed to be like apprehension. In fact, I think that when we talked in our second episode about AEW for the first time, this was a point that we talked about, was that we I said that I think that in the long run, this will work out and it'll actually be a net positive for FTR. But they just have to get comfortable in their like heelish skin, and I think they have to this point, and that's probably why they have the World Tag Team Championships right now.
Yeah, totally.
What else is on your mind?
I was really glad to see that Statlander retained over Mercedes.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
I'm not like a huge Statlander fan, but I'm tired of Mercedes winning belts.
It's a huge vote of confidence for her.
Yeah, I think that like I just want that belt to not be with, and I don't think Tony wants it to be with Mercedes either. I think that's the deal. I think Mercedes like a Mercedes can win every other belt, and this one is going to be the one that is eligible for all the other women wrestling.
I think the next step for Mercedes is that you go the Young Bucks route where you go bankrupt Monet.
Yeah.
Loses all the belts, and you put her at the very bottom, and then you have her have that crisis of confidence. And I think that's the most interesting thing you can do with her. And for Chris Statlander, I just want to say that this was a huge obstacle to climb. And now we are a little bit closer to what we both want, which is Statlander and Shafir in a world championship feud.
Yeah.
That leads to one of my observations, which is the four-way tag match with the remaining contenders in the women's tag team title tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Timeless Love Bombs with Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, and the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue and Julia Hart, your favorite.
Oh yeah,
and
Sisters of Sin.
Megan Bain and Marina Shafir, the powerhouses. So because we have Statlander retaining, I'm now hoping even more so now that that the Bain and Shafir, even though they look very formidable and like how it's, I could definitely see them having a great reign. I hope that they lose in their next match just so we can kind of maybe get that rolling with Statlander and Shafir. My one takeaway from that match was that the winner of this, which ended up being the Timeless Love Bombs, they're now going to get to choose a stipulation for either their semifinal match or just both of them.
Yeah.
This had no bearing on how whether or not anybody was going to advance in the tournament. And what I was wondering is that maybe we are drawing this out a little bit too long.
What, Tony Storm?
So I think what they want is they want to be no, not Tony Storm. That's impossible.
I was gonna say
she's timeless.
Wait, how could you say that Tony is not timeless?
No, she's absolutely timeless. It's in the name. Doesn't matter what I think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what they're doing here is they're going to have the finals of the Women's World Tag Team Championships at World's End, and they're going to have that, and they're going to have the Continental Classic semifinals and final in there. And I think that's just supposed to be kind of a culmination of the big tournaments that they have going on. But that's at the very end of the year. So we have a lot of time until then. And I just wonder, because this tournament started several weeks ago, so you could have this spanning almost 2 months. And I wonder if that's too much time, because on one hand, you want to give it a little bit of heft when a winner is finally determined. So you don't want it to be something that you wrap up in like a week or two.
Right.
2 months, though, seems pretty long. It kind of suggests to me that maybe they don't really have a plan for for what happens with those titles once they've been inaugurated.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me a little nervous for the booking of that. So that's my one takeaway. I just thought it was odd to have like at every stage have like an exhibition match with the remaining contestants or contenders, and then have stipulations be determined based on that, because they did that on Dynamite previously with the initial field. So I just wonder if this is maybe too staggered. But if Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale win the belts, then I'm totally fine with how they get there.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything else? Because I got one more, and I think that will get us into our final segment of the show. Anything else about Full Gear?
I was gonna just say, like, happy for Mark Briscoe. I think that that it's nice to see him win, because especially like I don't know. I think I saw that I think he was impressed. This is my dirt sheet thing, but he was impressed and he was like saying that like his brother was with him and like he's really proud of this. And like there's also a really memeable moment where Tony Khan like was sitting next to him and he's like clapping really hard for him.
Yeah.
And I just think there's nothing that encapsulates AEW more than Tony Khan marking out for like a Mark Briscoe winning like uh, some gold, and I thought that was really cool, that they finally like made him a winner, like a title holder.
Someone who's done such an incredible job positioning
Yes.
himself as a singles competitor.
Oh, and dude, when I first started watching him, I was like, I don't like that guy. I was ready to really not like Mark Briscoe, and he's done nothing but win me over.
Yeah.
So I'm all about it.
Is there anyone more in wrestling that you were more surprised could talk as well as they do than
No.
Mark Briscoe? Like, he has a 5 promo skill, and you just wouldn't. He is like the Jokic of wrestling promos.
He is like a Jokic because it's like it's effortless with him, where
Right.
like I feel like with other people it's way more
And you're just
calculated.
watching him, you're being like, are you kidding me right now?
No, when the first time it dawned on me was when MJF and him had
Yeah,
their
this is what
promo.
came to mind. I was wondering if maybe Tony saw Mark Briscoe cook MJF on the mic, and he went, "I got to get this guy a belt."
Yeah, this guy has got something that like I like nobody like. He's been underestimated, he's been
Yeah.
thoroughly underestimated, and I think that's like my bad too, because like I was like, I don't want to watch that guy.
And it's no small thing that he's defeating Kyle Fletcher,
Hell yeah, dude.
because they have. I think that if AEW is a stock portfolio, I think that Kyle Fletcher is probably one of their top 3 holdings.
Yeah, totally. And like the cool thing too is like you couldn't have a more visually dynamic, different two people
Yeah.
fighting. Kyle Fletcher is kind of that like
Kyle Fletcher is like if you mixed Bret Hart and Randy Orton. Like,
what?
yes,
Really?
bro has so much potential
Yeah,
to me.
definitely.
And so I think that, I think that him and Hangman in that title match in their Wrestle Dream, was it?
Yeah.
I think that was a trial balloon for him, just to kind of see where they are in that journey that they're inevitably going to get him to.
Yeah.
But they just wanted to be like, are we early? Are we on schedule? Are we late? Like, how soon can we get this guy in that picture?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking probably the right entree would be like Swerve, or maybe you restoke that rivalry with Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably what they're waiting for. But it's not just that Mark Briscoe won; it's that he won against a guy that I totally see them just making like a top guy for the foreseeable future. Like, he is next up.
Yeah,
For them.
definitely.
So good on Mark. Good on Mark Briscoe. I hope that they can give him a good run. Um, I don't even know if he's necessarily a guy that needs a belt. It's just something that's nice to see him have.
Right, exactly. What did you think about the Omega Bucks reunion?
Not much. Not much, to be honest with you. I guess we're doing like an elite.
Villains.
We're doing like an elite Don Callis family thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We don't need to. I didn't want them to get $1 million because I like Broke Bucks. I think the Broke Bucks are way more entertaining.
well, they turned it down to go help Jack Perry and Luchasaurus and yeah. So I think they're gonna do like that stable feud. Which,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
And Hangman and
I was surprised by this one.
what did you think?
I'm not thrilled about it because I think that Samoa Joe is really taking over like the John Moxley role, and we're gonna basically do like the Death Riders all over again.
Yeah, but Samoa Joe doesn't like embarrass himself on like a weekly basis. Like
Yeah.
I feel like at least Samoa Joe doesn't like walk into walls and like have a fake pretend mean scary voice and
Yeah, I think it's more of just it just needs more time for this to develop his heel persona and motivation.
yeah.
The whole feud with him and Paige was very out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of he won it all in, and Joe was hurt and injured, and then there was like something where he didn't fully attribute or credit Joe for helping him win the belt, or just
Bullshit.
the whole thing was launched under very shoddy pretenses, and I think that's really been my aversion to this feud that's lasted now through two events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Hangman drop the belt after 4 months, and really not any notable matches or feuds. I thought, I mean, like like Hangman's good, but it's just the fact that we're not going to get Swerve and Hangman 3 for the belt just seems like a missed opportunity.
I think, but like, I don't know. Do you feel like people want to see them team up more than they want to see them fight
I
again?
think the way that the story is going, then that's the more natural way to book them.
But wait, this is what sorry to interrupt.
Sure, no.
I'm just curious though, because like I actually can't remember what the scenario was that brought Hangman and Swerve together in the first place. Like, wasn't it like we all need to take Moxley down?
Yeah, so the Bucks had joined the Death Riders in kind of a mercenary type of agreement,
Yeah,
and then Swerve and Osprey took on the Bucks
that's right.
all in,
Okay.
and then they did the WrestleMania 41 finish, or sorry, the WrestleMania 40 finish with like all the stars coming together to beat the big heel.
Mox, yeah.
And Swerve, had the chain around his fist, and there was like the smirk looking back at him
Yeah.
as he like was struggling to pull the belt out of the case. It took way too long.
Oh yeah, that's
Couldn't
right.
get it open.
Didn't get all of it.
Um, so that was the last we had seen from Swerve, I think, and now he's back in there. That was the inciting event that led to them now being allies. So, and then
Right.
there was also a couple promos where they,
But it's like you'd think that like that would be like, okay, we're done being allies because we achieved the goal.
right?
Like I still don't get.
It's like you have the belt now, and Moxley doesn't, but I still have an issue that you have the belt because that's mine.
Right.
You
Right.
could easily get them there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like, yeah, they like now they just need to defeat the new Moxley together. But like I still feel like
I sleep.
it's a stretch to
I
think
sleep.
that like they had like one of the biggest like most heated rivalries and like
No, this is the top rivalry they have.
yeah, no, totally. And they just I don't know. There's some weird about it.
Yeah.
Some weird about
I
it.
don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, what
I like it. I like
do we
it.
have Samoa Joe and Hangman 3 for the rematch? Like, it just doesn't. I don't know. It's probably going to be Swerve and Samoa Joe at World's Ends, which I can't remember if we've gotten that before, but I don't know.
But for a title?
I love for the World Heavyweight title.
You
Yeah,
think? Yeah.
I think so. I like me some Swerve, so I swerve when I drive. So
Oh
I'll probably end up
my god.
at least being into the match for that.
I do love Swerve. And like I don't know. This is where I think they might have something just from a vibe point of view. Like Hangman always gives me like very like weird nervous energy. And Swerve gives me like the opposite of that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Like I actually could see the two of them coming together and forming like a vibe.
No, they're going to put them together.
I could see
That's
them have
going.
they fell in love
Yeah.
when they like drank each other's blood and then now they're like blood brothers.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't hate like I don't hate this. Like it feels I don't want to say romantic, but it feels like full of passion. Does that make sense?
It does. Makes complete sense.
So if Samoa Joe had to be the like car to get us there, like let's do it. Like let's watch these two just get like kind of weird.
If I were Tony, I would be concerned with how frequently Samoa Joe has to serve as the car, even though he is a big car.
But he is a car.
He is
He is
that
a
is an
human car.
that is an SUV of a man.
That's who should go
That's an
against Gunther.
all terrain.
Let's get Samoa Joe in the bracket. Yeah.
Well, there is a question mark, so you don't know. Well, that's for Jericho.
It's Jericho.
That's Jericho.
Please be Jericho. Please be Edge. Please, all three of them come back for the final. That would be so sick.
We've talked this up so much that if it's not Jericho, I'm gonna be so bummed out.
I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so pissed because LA Knight and Jericho would actually be so good.
Dude,
It would actually be so good.
come on.
Can you imagine the promos? Oh, okay.
Take LA Knight under your wing.
I'm gonna calm down because we were talking about Hangman and Swerve, and now we're talking about Jericho and LA Knight, and I'm getting overstimulated.
It's too much. It's too much.
I'm the club.
Well, I have one more, and I will preface this by saying that we have a segment planned to close the show. I'll finish out and kind of get into that with my thoughts on this last match. But last week was our things that we're thankful for in wrestling rundown. In commemoration of the beginning of the holidays, Thanksgiving, time to come together.
Yeah.
But I felt like we did more driving apart.
Yeah, we did. We were not nice.
In keeping with Thanksgiving traditions in households across the country, we had a little bit of fight at the table with a lot of people. And we felt that since we veered so negative last week, that it would be an opportunity to make amends by saying nice things. At least one nice thing about some of the people that caught strays last week. Some of them we're not going to be able to do that. Some of them we're just going to stand on business and say, nope, that is my view, and that's the way that it is. But there are a lot of people that I feel like there is a little space, especially from what has occurred since we last recorded, that we could credit. And that brings me to my final thought on Full Gear, and that is the no holds barred match with Kyle O'Reilly and Jonathan Atticus Moxley.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say. Because last week, he had the shortest fill in the blank answer and the most resonant and in unison. And that is Jon Moxley is for the marks.
Yeah.
And while I'm not going to completely recant on that, I'm going to say one thing. In this match, Jon Moxley tapped out for the third consecutive time.
He's crazy for that.
And this is most certainly leading to some sort of roiling mutiny within the Death Riders.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's best for business. And when you are not a mark, you are thinking about things that are best for business. And this guy has tapped out 3 times.
Yeah.
We're talking about Gunther tapping out once at WrestleMania and it following him forever. This guy's tapped out 3 times in order to purely advance the storyline and to put, of all people, Kyle O'Reilly over, which I think he's done that.
Yeah.
So I'm here to say, to kick us off, that my one good thing about Jon Moxley is that in spite of his markish tendencies, which, given, there was a lot of fork in that match.
Oh my God.
Guy can't give up the fork. So I'm not going to say you're not completely without your markish tendencies. So in spite of that, he's done what's best for business.
Yeah.
And I think that he's exhibited some top guy behavior this week.
Yeah. Wow. It sucks. I didn't think as deeply about the others as you did about Moxley.
Like I said, we had our fight.
Yeah.
I had some time to think about it. We had to bring some people back to the table.
Yeah.
And I went, you know what? My instinct would not even be to look in Moxley's direction.
Yeah.
Moxley is in the car right now. He stormed out of the house.
Yeah.
He's just throwing back fireball shooters in his, rental in the driveway. He's not even thinking about talking to me again. We're never going to talk again. And I had to go out there and knock on the window and say, hey, you know what? Hey, watch out. Don't stab me with a fork. I'd have to when I knocked. I'd have to knock and then kind of back away.
Dude, I love that you're like at Thanksgiving dinner with the people that you shed on last week.
Yeah, well, I brought them in. We brought them in, being like, "Hey, we're going to play a fun game," and it just devolved and got weird. You know, we got really negative.
We did get negative, but here's the thing about wrestling about that I love that like most art forms where you're allowed to like build a persona and use that persona to build a business, being a heel or being not liked is actually really awesome and like really exciting. And like even when it's not good, it's still fun. Like Marina Shafir is like the ongoing example, right? So it's like I did shit on a lot of people, and I am sorry if like you took it at face value, but what I really mean is like, I'm just this is my blanket statement, and then I will say nice things about everybody, but like my blanket statement is if you're bad, you are still exciting and you're still a part of something really cool, and you still have absolutely 1,000% of potential to become someone else and to have a complete resurgence, and that's what's so great about this particular medium. And I don't think it's like that any like in most other mediums. It's like it's here and there, but wrestling is its own like very unique spectacle where like if you're bad, you're still in the conversation and you're still like there's still a chance that you can take it and turn it around. So anyway, I'll say this. I was really mean about a lot of people. And I
I'm
think
so curious who you feel like you should start out with.
I think I want to start out with Damian Priest because
Okay.
there's nobody that I talk more about hating than Damian Priest, and I actually thought that Damian Priest got out pretty unscathed in our conversation.
I'm surprised that this is the first one because I think that this last week was the first time we've really softened on him.
No, I think so too, because I feel like for a long time, Damian Priest has thought he was really something. And I'm starting to feel like Damian Priest is starting to like kind of fade a little bit into the background. And I've always said this about him. He has potential. He has such massive potential, but he botches and he comes out looking like what I dressed in when I was in middle school at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And when I think he has like the blueprints of being like a real top guy. And I again, you kind of stopped me when I was about to go on my like Damian Priest rant, but there's nobody that I think could be really big with the most like I think he's just got the most potential but just pisses it off. So I would say Damian Priest. I think, your times being the leader of the Judgment Day made you look really good. I think that the times that you've botched have been pretty exciting, actually. Like the botch when you got caught in the ropes.
Or when he didn't kick out with Seth Rollins and the lights went up because everybody thought the match was over because it was.
These are all things that I love to look for and I love to see, even though they're like not good for business, like they're not good in general. But I was on the edge of my seat when you got caught in those ropes. And the times where you do come out looking good makes me think that there's gonna be something. I'm I'm like hoping good things for you.
I think there's going to be something. Just if
It's not right now.
it's not right now, and it might not be here.
And I think if you walk away for a while and get a stylist and learn how to like dress,
And stop coaching Rhea Ripley. What are you doing?
we this has to be nice things.
No, I know, but this is a nice thing. This is a nice bit of advice.
Yeah.
Don't coach someone who is levels
Doesn't
above
need
you,
it.
and you know that. You know that.
No, but and I think again, it's like it's probably like him behind the scenes is actually a very nice,
Oh
cool
yeah, sure,
person.
sure. But don't
Okay, don't ruin the nice
Okay,
segment.
all right. I'm starting a fight at the dinner table again. So
No, I know.
you're right. You're right.
Okay, so that's my nice thing about
Ox is like, I'm gonna get out of here.
that's my nice thing about Damian Priest. Okay, you
Okay.
go.
I'm gonna say that I feel really bad and about Sheamus.
Oh yeah. I
because
know.
I said it was the answer to my question.
What did you say? You're like,
I said if I never see Sheamus again, I wouldn't mind. And then like that week he had a shoulder injury, and now he's got taken
yikes,
out of the John Cena tournament. And
yikes.
I will not be seeing him for an indeterminate amount of time. So I feel like I put the hoochoo on him on that one, and I feel really bad about it.
No, it wasn't you. I really think he's an older guy. It's like it's gonna happen.
But I'm glad that he got to have that 6-way with him and Ray and John Cena against the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that was really
It was fun.
entertaining. I'm so glad Sheamus got to be in the match like that instead of just like caning somebody like Rusev.
Yeah.
In a middle SmackDown match.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna say something nice about John Cena, which is crazy.
You're avoiding the two people that you honed in on the most.
Wait, who's it? Who is it?
No, let's go with John Cena.
Okay, John.
We'll continue, and then
Because John Cena, I continue to shit on every week. Like John Cena never catches a break from me.
You do, and you also give Damian Priest a hard time, but I edit these shows, and I can tell you right now that you are not hitting the right people.
I know one. I know the next one that you were gonna say, but I don't know the second person.
There are two people who have been complete scorched earth for me from the very beginning.
Okay.
But John
Cena.
Jonathan Cena.
I'll say John Cena because I've been so annoyed and just tired of this fucking tour. This retirement tour. I will say, well, first, he's a legend. Like going back and looking at
all the disclaimers.
Yeah, all the things he's ever done, like all the promos, like he's been so iconic, blah 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 blah. Not the reason I'm annoyed with him now. I'm annoyed with him now because no one should ever have a retirement tour that lasts a year. That's crazy. So that's why I've been pissed. That's a recap.
Yeah.
But what I think he's doing for finally what he should have been doing the whole time is putting over young talent, and that's what he's doing now. And I think he's being fun babyface John Cena while he does it. This is what we love to see, and I love to see it. I love to see babyface John Cena just being himself, being the person that all the kids love, and then having a tournament of young talent all to be able to go for his final match. What a fantastic idea.
What if the mystery replacement is mini John Cena?
Or Jericho.
No.
It'd be Jericho and mini John Cena.
What if it's mini John Cena that comes out, and then as he's coming down to the ring, he goes, "Break the walls down," and he just comes out and just like completely squashes mini John Cena, and then Jericho goes on.
Again?
Yeah. Say, mini John Cena, you just made the list.
Dude, okay. I told you this is nice. This is nice time.
Hey, look, I'm just trying to figure out a way to make that segment make sense.
It's going to be him and Gunther. He's going to put Gunther over because he's a good guy, and then he's going to retire forever, and that's what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. And then they're going to waste Gunther for the third time.
I know. You're right. There's always going to be, you're right. There's always some bullshit. But yeah, I think that the idea of this is what it should have been the whole time. I'm happy to see we finally got there.
Yeah.
Even though it took forever. So that's cool.
Yeah. A year-long retirement that has felt like 2.
It's been so rough.
Like when you think back to when he announced it for the first time at Money in the Bank or something like that, like in July before the official tour began in the Royal Rumble.
It seems like so long. It seems like so
really
long.
That's been like, it's because it's like a year-long retirement, but like that announcement like puts it all the way back into, it's been a year and a half since it's been like in the conversation.
Yeah.
And man, I mean,
too much.
It's going to be a hell of a finale, though. I mean, it has to be after.
For someone that just left wrestling and just did movies and commercials and shit for so long, and then to just waltz back in here like you fucking own it, and then say, I'm going to spend a year like on each one of your most giant shows.
Now, hold on. I'm going to blow the whistle on you now.
All right, you're right.
Stop you from yourself.
Yep. Tournament's great. Babyface is great. Love it.
We all love John Cena.
We all love John Cena. He's clever. He's funny.
Are you trying to say that, like, John, I see you?
And I think he's been really funny with Dominic Mysterio too. He's been really funny.
Yeah.
I like the like smart ass John Cena.
Yeah.
It's like why he's so loved, and it's been fun to watch him with another smart ass. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna stop because I don't want to keep shitting. I don't want to keep being mean. So that's what I'm gonna say.
I think that we should cap off the show with yours because
With the two that
there's some glaring omissions that I wonder if you're going to hit on.
okay, I'll stand on business on Lyra Valkyria because that's one that I just
You
don't.
know damn well that's not who I'm talking about. Lyra Valkyria. Oh, okay, good. Well, thanks everyone. That's been Shootnami. We cleared up Kate's thoughts on Lyra Valkyria. Get out of here.
I think I still can't stand. I
Okay.
can't do it.
Okay.
But I know. Let me guess who I think you're gonna think you're talking about.
You're gonna be like, oh, you're talking about El Grande Americano, aren't you?
Oh my god, no. Okay, so one is Cody Rhodes,
Of course.
and the other one is LA Knight.
Yeah.
I knew it. I know, and I know that you love LA Knight, and I actually really do love LA Knight too. But the problem that I have with LA Knight is, again, it's the potential. It's what I've seen that makes me feel like you should be a lot bigger than you are. And why aren't you bigger than you are? And it lies in there. Mm-hmm. It lies in the why are you just not doing it? You know, you have it all. And
do you think that's on him or do you think that's on the booking?
I think that they are like it's like a wheel of world and life. I think you as a wrestler affect how people want to book you, and then the booking will book you based on the way you act with other people and the way you carry yourself.
Show me you're ready.
Show me you're ready. And like I've seen LA Knight be so fucking funny. And the promos that you've shown me from like when he was younger.
It's like NWA or something like that.
Yeah, like the early LA Knight.
Looked like they were like on public access.
Yes, and this is like before I think the like Dupree like thing
all
and
that.
all that, like before when he was like just a young.
Well, this is what's confusing about the LA Knight booking is that Maxine Dupree, I think it was, that was Vince's idea. That's how he thought he was going to get LA Knight over. And then Triple H took over the book and gave him back LA Knight.
Yeah.
So really, like, his resurrection is because of Triple H. So it's just odd that you work on this project and now you've gotten to a place where you can actually pay dividends and then you continue to hold him back.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I think is really, really funny on the mic, but like when was the last time have you seen him doing anything really, really funny or good on the mic? You know, not like how he was.
Well, he had a really good promo calling out John Cena on Raw, but it happened completely during commercial break. Like I had to go and see like a YouTube reel of it.
But then I don't know. It's like I don't consider him blameless in that. You know, it's like there's a reason somebody put him on commercial. Because maybe they weren't confident that he was going to do a good job or that he wasn't going to stutter over his words or he wasn't going to do what he always does.
Boy, when you get relegated to the commercial break, but mini John Cena gets like 10 minutes on Raw, that's crazy.
Dude, I know.
That's crazy.
And I agree with you. It's like I truly am rooting for him. And I think that like that's what makes me the most mad.
Yeah.
Is that I do want to see him do well. It's like when he was going up against Punk, and we talked about this on a couple of I think it was number 3, but like we talked about how Punk obliterated him easily. Yeah. And just embarrassingly so. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, that mixed with the Drew McIntyre botch, or like it's just like
and maybe he's just a guy that like doesn't really play ball backstage.
I don't think that he has a lot of good friends, and I don't think he like I don't think he plays well with others, or he doesn't do a good job of like keeping up.
I would be surprised in maybe a few years if we ever have like the retrospective or the insider take on this, if we didn't find out that there was like a little bit of political
Yeah.
aspect to
Oh,
this.
totally. But I think like
But if there is, but like with Karrion Kross,
use
like
it.
use it, but also it's like there was with Karrion Kross, and they just let him go.
Right.
So there's this tension where it's like
But they
they don't
almost
want to push him, but they know they can't let him go.
don't get me started on Carrie.
Oh,
Because I can explain to you why that fucking happened. It's because he was a wiener about it. It wasn't.
yeah.
And again, this is where I come back.
Mhm.
If you are a wiener, you will be treated like a wiener in wrestling. Like I've seen it. You know, like if you act like a wiener, they're not gonna book you because you're a wiener. And Carrie.
Why do I feel like this is verbatim what Paul said? Paul said to
Dude,
LA Knight and Gorilla.
because
If you're a weeder, I'm not going to book you. Stop being a weeder.
dude, I feel like LA Knight's problem.
Stop stabbering.
Dude, I feel like LA Knight's problem is like he's really funny, but he's acting like a wiener.
Yeah.
You know, like
The Rock never tripped over his words, which is fair.
and like a lot of like when I first started really liking him, one of the things that I noticed is what people don't like about him is that it's very like rock adjacent, you know, like
It's a lot of adjacent.
and like there's no like
it's wrestling. It's inherently.
But I have no problem with it. That's the thing that I'm gonna say is like I don't have a problem like taking things from people that have done great things and kind of doing your own spin on it. That's what art is.
Right. What do you think Charlotte Flair is doing?
Right.
You know, what do you think?
Totally.
You can just go up and down the line. Dude.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was an offshoot of superstar Billy Graham, and it's just a time-honored tradition of borrowing and homage. I mean, in wrestling, characters borrow from like larger pop culture, so it's a fair critique for LA Knight, but I always have wondered why he's the one that gets it.
So there's also a very touchy thing that I think is happening where it's like the authenticity is missing. Like I think LA Knight has gotten so into this like character that he's created that there is a little bit of that lacking authenticity that like when you look at those like when you showed me those promos of him like when he was like remember when he was like drinking
him on the come up baby
Yeah.
when he was giving promos and wrestling like the rent was due,
dude, and like I think that's just it for me where it's like where is the authenticity, and if you don't show through the piece then it's not going to be a compelling work of art that people think about, and that's what I think is
and they're not going to put a belt on it.
No. And like to transition to Cody Rhodes, I think Cody Rhodes.
Well, hold on before you do, because let's not forget the point of the exercise.
Oh, to say something nice.
So I'll give you one of two options here. You say something nice about Cody Rhodes or about LA Knight, or what I think would be kind of cool. Give me the scenario that you think could start to turn it around for you.
For LA Knight?
Yep.
I think I want to see LA Knight do a pipe bomb.
That's good.
He
could too. If you feel like if there's anybody that it feels like it's just coming.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Because he's already showing the signs. Like there was that one time where he like grabbed the sign that said "Push LA Knight," and I think he might have even gotten in trouble for that. And he had that thing with Drew McIntyre and Drew's in the War Games match, and he's gotten multiple title shots. Like I think it's coming, man. I think we could have an old fashioned Shootnami.
If you're LA Knight, the best thing that you could do is be authentic, tell them how you feel, and show the people who you are, really, and not just be this person that says this catchphrase and, like, don't chicken out of it. Don't, like, be like, I didn't,
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. If you want to do this, show us that you want to do this.
All right.
Don't let a bunch of people stamp you out of it because of what they think you are, and that's going to be what I say. If you could do that, he's the wrestler I always knew he was.
All right. I like that. Well, she just laid down the gauntlet. So let's see if we get one in the near future. Let's go quickly to Cody Rhodes. We know what our apprehension is with Cody Rhodes. We share it. You don't have to convince me. I'm the choir.
Yeah.
And we know also what our solution is. We're
Yeah,
also in unison with that, right? It's him turning heel. But I'll say this. Assuming that the heel turn doesn't come, let's end on what do you need from him as a babyface to be able to get you to actually stay up for his matches? It's a tall order.
Oh wow.
It's a tall.
We're not gonna just be like what to like him. It's gonna be you have to stay up.
We
for
have to
him.
really solve the
I
problem.
don't know if I
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can
be
do.
at the beginning of the show is what
Cody, I want you to fucking listen to me. I will never stay up for your matches ever.
not unless you're the first person on that show. No, I'm kidding.
Not even if there's a fire.
No, here's the thing. I do love Cody. Like I love all the people that I chat on because they're all doing something that's so bold and amazing. But like Cody Rhodes really does live. What I was gonna say about the transition between LA Knight and Cody Rhodes is like Cody Rhodes is what LA needs. Which is like he does live authentically through his character. Like there is a huge chunk of Cody Rhodes that exists within the character of like the American Nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And you can see it, you can feel it, you can feel the passion behind it, how much he loves it, and how much he's dedicated to it. And again, like that's like the piece that really I think like I was looking for in LA Knight that I would love to see more of.
Yeah.
So Cody Rhodes has that piece, but Cody Rhodes is also really annoying. Like I just think he's kind of an annoying persona.
Hey, we're not gonna build bridges until we can. Well,
We can break him down.
we got to clear it out first. We gotta clear the wound.
But like, there is not a wrestler on that roster that is more of a spectacle than Cody Rhodes, and there's so
Oh,
many.
he is there. He is exactly what Hulk Hogan was for.
He was made in a lab by like wrestling scientists.
Yeah.
And I think that is so cool. Like that is like so awesome. And I think like, when it comes to Cody Rhodes, like when we went to see a SmackDown show live, there was such a difference between everyone else and him.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I believe is because he really does put his whole heart into into what he does and puts it on the table. Like wears it on his sleeve, puts it on the table, like hugs these kids that are garbed out in these Cody Rhodes outfits. Like I love him for that. And I love
that's got to be a ton of pressure to go out there and you got the kids in the rails and they're just like their whole evening and probably childhood is just like
dependent on
hinging on you signing something or giving them a hug,
looking in their direction.
And there are so many people out there that want that spot, but if they'd actually woke up in that spot, would piss down their leg.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say about Cody Rhodes, dude. Like,
yeah,
that guy took the ball from an entirely different company. And here's the thing, he came out of a company that didn't want jack shit to do with him anymore. They couldn't wait for him to get out of there. So to go from that imbalance of negative to, explosively effusive reaction and then to be able to shoulder it and then to take the reign off of Roman after 4 years and change. It's just like he's shouldered a lot, man. And he's not perfect. And I feel like, he definitely needs a way to make him compelling as a babyface. But I give him credit for being able to like be the marquee guy, be the guy that does all that stuff and also does like the press and does get up and, like commercials and all that stuff. And it's just like, that's the actual grind of being it's like it's not the matches are probably where it gets easy, like but it's the ambassadorship of him. I would say like he's an incredible ambassador, and honestly I feel like the best part of his contribution to the WWE is going to come probably after he's retired. And well, I mean, you'll have the heel run and you'll have all the things he's going to be doing that, but he's going to continue to contribute in really impactful ways, and I he's just such a rock for them.
Yeah.
Hey, Rock.
Hey, Brock.
Hey, Brock. Your pants are ripped.
Yeah, I exactly, like, Cody Rhodes is probably, the like you said, the easiest thing about his day is the wrestling.
Yeah.
And everything else is probably so much pressure on him, and he probably has a really big say in creative, and that's a really scary place to be, is like kind of in this, like, one leg in the actual show and one leg in the actual, like, writing of what's going on, and to be, like, affected by it. And my biggest thing with Cody is that he is tailor made for this particular role. I just can't wait for him to be free, him to be free of having to be the nice guy, even though I do love watching him with all the kids and how he is with the kids, which he might be able to still maintain as a heel. I don't know. But
Well, you know what? I think that's a perfect place to stop.
yeah.
I think that we have done exactly what we set out to do. We brought a few more people back to the table. Not all of them, but some of them maybe need to spend some time at the kitty table.
Yeah, fuck him.
And I can't think of a better way to end it than on that. So, hey, you know what? Thanks again for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Enjoy the War Games this weekend. War Games!
Okay.
War Games! And we will be back next time to recap it um, and to talk about the end of this John Cena era. So, happy start to the holidays for you, and see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye.